Versioning prints incorrect values. We submitted a new one. This is still open. Let's go back to the bottom.
Is this the one to fix the message?
Yeah, it's just to fix the message.
Yeah. I think I responded to that.
Yeah, you did.
Right.
Yep. So we just need to get that going. Saad's here. Excellent.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
No problem.
Go ahead. I'll let you drive, Luis. Looks like you've got it.
Okay. So I guess we need this. What do we need for this to continue? Somebody to push it in, or we got the LGTM already?
Somebody with proper rights has to LGTM it, so it gets picked up by the CI.
I'm assuming that's Saad.
Yep, I can take a look.
Okay. Vladimir, we got issue open authorizer. You want to discuss that?
Yeah. So this is the node authorizer, and it kind of outlines what needs to be done. And then I got on Slack with with Jordan yesterday, and the next link on that document basically, he was like, "Hang on one second," and then he came back with a PR that has the shell of what needs to be done. So that's the next link on the doc.
Nice.
So if you go back to the doc.
I see.
Go back. Yeah, go back to the doc itself. Then there's the secondary link is the PR. He was like, "Yeah, give me 1 second," and he came back with basically a shell of the code that needs to be done. So I was like, "Whoa!" So anyway, I'm going through that right now. It needs tests and other stuff to make it pretty, but that's essentially what needs to be done, Saad. And because we're only the one place in the kubelet that we are pulling is during attachment, is the only place we're pulling the volume attachment object. I'm sorry, not attachment, but during setup at. So basically his code is based on that. So if we find anywhere else that we're talking to the API server to get the attachment object, then we just need to modify it. But from what we've discussed and what's in the code right now, the only place we're actually pulling the object from the API server is setup at.
Okay. So just to be clear, the PR that Jordan has out is complete, or is it?
No, it's not complete. No. It's a shell of what needs to be done. So
okay.
I'm gonna go
just
in.
An example. You're gonna take that. You're gonna build on top of it.
Either build on top of what's there, or create a new one. But I'm probably gonna just build on top of what's there.
Okay, makes sense. So second question is, or something to keep in mind. In parallel, we want to move the API, the volume attachment API from V1 Alpha 1 to V1 Beta.
Okay.
And so keep that in mind as you write the code so that it's trivially easy to go in and modify it and add in V1 Beta 1 later. They'll kind of need to coexist for some time, and we'll just need to remember to do that.
Now, do we need to keep? So once we move the volume attachment object to the beta path.
Yeah, I think we should
change that.
I think we should keep the alpha one and the beta one let them coexist.
That was my question. Do we keep
and the reason for it is that we can experiment in the alpha one more easily. If we want to try or test out new things, we test them in alpha and then we promote them to beta.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't quite understand everything that's going on, so I want to take my time and understand it.
Okay.
And understand the API, and that's why I'm not gonna call it done because I want to actually figure out what's going on.
Makes sense.
I didn't expect them to come back with code, but yeah, I want to make sure I understand what's going on.
You changed 14 files in a few minutes.
Maybe there's a generator somewhere that does it. It was way too quick.
Yeah.
So, because as I was talking to him, he was like, "Oh, hang on one second." That okay, that works.
Mm,
All right, cool. That's all I had.
okay. Um, all right. Should we go through this status first, or should we? How do you normally want to do it, Saad? You want to go through the P0s?
If there's nothing else folks want to talk about, we've got 20 minutes, so I think it'd be worth it to go through status updates.
All right. I did just want to bring up that I have Travis all set up pretty much for all the repos.
Nice.
One of the things is that Jan, your external attacher is working great because it has unit tests. The external provisioner, on the other hand, has 0 unit tests. So even though Travis is there, is doing nothing. So we're just going to have to go in and into each one of the projects, external attacher, driver registrar, and external provisioner to make sure that they are tested correctly. So the CI is there, but we need test time.
Okay. Is there an item tracking that in the?
Let's check. I think it's down here. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. That's for drivers. Oh, drivers has just so you know, Shakri. Is Shakri here? Did he leave?
He's here.
Okay. This drivers are not passing unit tests. They're failing. So.
Let me take a look at them actually.
Yeah, there should be a PR in the driver repo with the Travis support and the Travis log. If it ran, because Travis was down yesterday,
okay.
Should have the logos and stuff. But yep. I don't see it specifically saying that those repos need unit tests.
So there is the generic tests for external sidecar containers.
Where is that?
Third item in that list.
Okay. This one here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can add both unit tests and if end-to-end tests make sense, end-to-end as well.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Cool.
All right. That's all I have. Let's go up to the top. All right. Anything else before we start on these? Okay, okay.
So, Luis, for the strict validation code, right? Do you see anything missing in there? I know that we have to add the size limits actually, which was part of the specification. So, did you see anything else?
Oh, you're talking about the unit test failing?
No. Strict validation checking in the CSI common, right?
Let's see.
Okay, that's fine. I'll check with you offline. Let's
yeah. You're talking about this right here.
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't done this yet.
The P1.
Yeah. This one here, right? Strict validation code
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have anything, add an issue and put a comment in there. So I think most of the stuff should be in there already, but yeah.
Okay.
I'll take a second look. Thank you.
You got it. Okay. All right, so let's get started on the P0s for Kubernetes core. Any update on the mount propagation to beta? Yeah?
No, I haven't received any test reports. I will send something to SIG storage to get some feedback.
Okay. So, all right. What do we need to make this beta? More testing, you're saying?
More testing. Different distros, different Docker versions, different kernels, this kind of stuff. Different storage technologies. Because so far it's been tested only on my Fedora and CentOS.
Yeah.
And that's it, basically.
Is this being tracked by SIG storage tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, because then maybe we can get E2E help. How can we solve this?
I have one E2E test that runs regularly on Ubuntu, I think, upstream, but that's it. It's just one simple test that tests it works.
Is it
And
part of the end-to-end test suite?
It's part of the alpha test.
The alpha test. Okay. So I wonder if it's running on Chromium as well.
I don't know. Probably yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I got to the end here. A second.
So I guess the big question is, how do we get better coverage here so that we're confident enough to move to beta?
Yep.
I will send a mail to SIG storage asking for feedback because everybody who develops the CSI driver must have tested that.
Yeah.
So I will get list of distros people use, list of kernels, list of storage technologies, and that could be it actually.
Okay. That seems reasonable to me.
All right. That reminds me on the E2E tests for that we were supposed to. Is it merged or what's the status of it? Reviewed?
It was reviewed and LGTM'd. I'm not sure whether it got merged or not.
Okay. I don't know where it is. Where is it? I'm losing track of it. I'll check on it later.
Okay.
Let's see what's next. We got volume AP attachment, which we just talked about, unless you want to add something else.
Nope. Let's keep moving.
All right, CSI volume source. Vlad? You're mute? Oh, he's in a car. So you put the camera on, but not the mute button.
All right, we'll skip him. We don't want him to die here.
Yeah, there you go. Let's keep making fun of him to see which button he's capturing hits.
Sorry, I was at a light.
Yeah.
So the CSI volume source change, I forgot, somebody is working on that, but they got the. I looked at the PR, I think yesterday. Looked like it's done. I don't have the number with me. I don't think I posted it, but God, I forgot who it was. But I looked at it yesterday. It looked like it was done.
Was that the PR for the watch? Or
no, well, that's one. But no, I was talking about the FS. We talking about the FS type, right?
No. This is about the CSI volume source API to beta.
Yep.
So we have the in-tree CSI volume source API, which was added last quarter. We want to move it to beta. Technically, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there's any real work that needs to be done on this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Verification.
I was thinking of the FS group one.
Right.
FS type one. Sorry about that. No, so it hasn't been moved yet.
Okay.
All right. And all right. PC to update flag gates accordingly?
Flag gates will depend on the volume attachment API moving.
Yeah. The two previous ones, right?
Yep.
Okay. And also mount propagation now it's needed too. Make volume attributes first class.
Doesn't look like either of them are here.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Go ahead, Vlad.
I don't think my name is next to that. Is my name next to the one we just discussed?
The update flag gate?
No,
the CSI volume source.
Yeah,
volume attributes.
CSI volume source has your name next to it. We added it last week, I believe. It was an additional item when we started talking about moving to beta this quarter.
Okay, I must have missed that. Okay, I'll go back and look at it.
It should be relatively small. I think it's mostly just verifying things to make sure that there's no work actually needed here.
And basically, it's just moving the same files, like one to a different directory.
Not even that, because the interesting thing with the CSI volume source is that we added it to the V1 core API.
Okay.
So normally, when you graduate a API from alpha to beta, you actually have to copy it over to the beta version, the beta group, which is what we're
Right.
doing with the volume attachment.
Right.
But with the CSI volume source, it's already part of V1. So there's, I think, the only work, if any, that might remain is like updating a comment that says this is alpha or something like that to say it's beta, and then removing any flag gates.
Now, the name of the generated, maybe I want to make sure I'm not thinking about volume attachment, but does the name of the client? Okay, well, I'll just look at it because I think I'm thinking about volume attachment.
Got it.
All right, thanks.
Cool.
Okay. Then we got all the CSI required changes.
So there's the node authorizer. I think.
Oh, we skipped that one.
Sent out update, yeah, and so we're looking good there.
Okay.
So we keep moving.
Okay.
CSI credentials. Sergey and I had a discussion yesterday. Looks like Sergey is already on top of it, and he pushed the CSI spec change. This is going to be a major change because it's going to require changes to the CSI spec, the Kubernetes source code, as well as the external components. I will go ahead and review the CSI spec changes, and we'll go from there. Sergey, is there anything else you would like to add?
No. I mean, I would appreciate if somebody take a look at the CSI spec change, because
Cool.
that was the first time when I've done it. So I wasn't sure whether it's the way it's supposed to be done or not. So.
Is that the PR for to add the to add the was it the user credentials?
Actually, it changes the user credentials into more intuitive name. Like I changed the user credentials for the controller. It's called controller credentials, and credentials used by node plugin called node credentials. So it's a little bit less confusing, and the username is not mentioned there because I mean, it's not really a user. It's basically the software that uses this credential. So
Okay. Because
So it's a clarification then.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
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 Is there a PR out there? Because I remember seeing something yesterday.
Yes, there is
adding...
a PR updating the spec, and it's just updating the spec to be more clear. The remaining work and the bulk of the work is going to be on the Kubernetes side and determining where we're going to put the credentials for the various operations in the API. That needs to be done.
Okay, I think I saw a PR for that. Okay.
So, Luis, the issue that you just opened, I opened it to track further changes in the API, because based on the discussion we had with Saad yesterday, so there are going to be some changes for storage class object and some other places. So I was kind of thinking that it could be used to track.
Excellent, thank you. And this most likely will be the next version of the CSI spec, right? So.
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I guess so. All right. Registration of socket with kubelet. Chakri.
I have to connect Chakri to the folks that are working on this from the Google side of things, or sorry, the GPU team, so that Chakri can help drive the design with them.
Yeah, actually, I'm in sync with a couple of the Node guys, but I just want to check one thing with you, Saad. So when you looked at it, right, the current GPU device registration is not going to work for us, right?
I need to double check. I think it might be okay. There were two proposals. I forget which one we determined was the one that we want to go forward with. It might be the current one. I forget.
Okay. Let me check back, and if I have any questions, I'll ping you.
Okay. Yeah, just send me an email as a reminder, and I will make sure to connect you with wherever the team left off on that.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then next we got the specifying the file systems. Alpha feature to AXT4.
This is the one that Vlad was mentioning. The PR is out there. I took a look at it yesterday. I LGTM'd it. I think my only concern is to make sure that this aligns with what we want to do for block storage. I think it should be fine, but I left a note for Aaron Boyd and the block storage folks to take a look at it.
Awesome. Next P1 is the CSI versioning. I will get to this next week when I come back home.
Okay.
So I want to skip over the P2s. We have 4 minutes left.
Okay.
And we go down to the next changes in CSI spec. So we got P0 CSI credentials. We just talked about that.
Yep. We need to update the name there to Sergey, but yep, Sergey's working on that.
Okay. And the next one is topology. Any changes on that?
No updates yet.
Okay. And I'll skip the P2s. Then we got changes to CSI repo. Again, this is the driver support is there. We just need unit tests.
Nice.
So this is done. Just gonna cross it out. Do you cross it out, or what do you make it
just
green?
make it highlight green.
All right.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah, you gotta find out. I hit my buttons for some reason. All right, test the cycle containers. Again, that's more test. P1 external components, which should probe prior to storage hubs. What does this mean?
Sorry, which one are you looking at?
This
one, external components should probe prior to storage ops. Issue number 20. What is issue number 20?
That's, I think that's mine. It's part of the an issue that that was pointed out, where the CSI spec says that in the language of the CSI spec, it says that the CO should probe prior to certain calls. One of them is the I think it's control to publish or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, to make sure that the system says I have everything I need, and it says okay,
right.
Yeah. And but why is this part of the drivers? Shouldn't that be in Kubernetes?
Yeah, it's for Kubernetes. Was it on the driver side?
No, I see what you're doing. You put it in the clients. Got it. I get it. The
Part of the registrar, attacher, provisioner. I think it'll actually be in both places because it has a kubelet component as well.
Yeah.
Right. Because kubelet does have a.
Hey, I have. So today the way the probe is, right? Like even the CSI says that you need to call a probe.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee. There's no distinction on the client on the server side. You don't have a way to identify the clients. So if a client disconnects or you upgrade it, the second time it might not need to probe, and you never know it.
No, but
it's tied to the client side context.
It as far as I know, it is up to the driver just to return yes or no. So the driver needs to check. So it can be called many times, right?
Yep.
It's okay.
You can call the probe, but my point is like today the way it is maybe we should make the documentation a little bit more clear when you're implementing on the driver side. Driver is the server and your client is probing it. If the client reinstantiates itself or restarts, it might end up doing another probe. And for the server to distinguish between these two, server needs to have a client context.
No, so I'm saying
I don't.
Why is that a problem? I mean, the client comes in. Let's say 3 clients come in, right? Mm-hmm. Each one does a probe, and wouldn't that be okay? It's just checking.
No. That's all fine. All I'm saying is on the driver side, what that means is that you need to have a separate client context for each of the connection, and you need to maintain that context. See my point?
But, no, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't get it because the probe call is a.
You're going too fast. Hear me then. So CSI common side, when you get the CSI common code, you have a client, right?
Yeah.
And a call comes. Today, anybody calls you, you just blindly execute it. There is no context of a client context associated with it. Okay. You don't maintain a client context in CSI common today. Maybe it's just the way that's implemented.
Okay.
Without having a client context, you don't know whether you got a probe or not. So you can't strictly validate it until you sign up for the client context. And my only question is, are we signing up for that in the entire CSI?
I don't understand what you mean by validating.
Validating in the sense that if you say that you have to always do a probe before making the next call.
Oh,
there needs to be some sort of in-memory state.
No. The driver cannot do that. You cannot guarantee that. I'm saying
yes, and all that means is that you are suddenly introducing a client context into the CSI common driver side. And my assumption was we always wanted to make it stateless.
It is stateless, yeah, it is. Yes. So what this is saying is that the clients right now are not asking for the probe.
Exactly. Right. So if you do, like, how do I distinguish whether I got a probe from this particular client or not?
No,
The
but
only
But
way where the
this
context
drive-
is relevant in the CSI spec is the pagination.
this is what I'm getting confused about, because it's a stateless thing. So whenever you get a
Yes.
probe call, you just answer yes or no. It's just are you okay or not?
So Luis, I think what Chakri is talking about is not from the driver's perspective, but from the caller's perspective. So if you think about the external provisioner or the external attacher, from that perspective, there's no code today that currently maintains whether a probe has been called or not.
Okay.
But if there's multiple probe calls, does that cause any issue?
No, it won't
No.
cause any issue. But what are we? Let's say that if I have to do a strict validation, and if the probe is a must before calling the next operations, then
Oh,
we do it on the server side.
you're talking about this specific thing, P1 that we have. We have add strict validation in CSI common code.
Yes, yes. Hear me out, right?
Okay.
Completely.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
let's say that if we are saying that a client always needs to call a probe before doing any other operations, then server should have a strict check for that. If not, there's no point of it.
Yeah.
And server has no way of detecting whether the client called a probe or not. Then what is the usage of probe? It has to be like a health check. Then it's not a probe.
Well, it could be that some client called it at some time. It doesn't matter who it was.
Yeah, I think the language also needs to be cleared from the CSI
Yes, exactly.
side, because that's one of the reasons why I didn't put it in the first place, because it sounded like it was optional. And then I went back for some clarification, and Andrew was like, "Nah, I don't think it's optional." So I put
Okay,
it.
so maybe the action item here is two parts. One is to clarify the language around probe in CSI spec. And then two is to
Agreed.
make relevant changes on the Kubernetes side.
Yep. If you're just saying that you need to call a probe just to detect the plugin, I can understand.
Yep.
But I don't think that's the language actually today CSI is specifying the way it's specifying it. So.
All right, Chakra, I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh man. Asked for it. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, I've learned my lessons. So.
Yeah, Chakri Nelluri. Chakri dash Nelluri.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, cool. Anything else other than that, guys? We're already 4 minutes past. We did all the P1s and P0s today. All right, then I will see you on Friday.
All right. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Thanks.
care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.